Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've done a layout share, so I thought I would do one today. As I go through, I will let you know where I got the inspiration for these layouts, because most of them have been created using Allison Davis Sketches, or they were done as part of online classes. So I want to make sure that those outlets get credit. So let's get started. This first one actually was not a sketch. This is one of my own designs. It's pretty simple, and it's using the Simple Stories Baking Spirits Bright collection, which was from, I believe, 2 years ago. And my adorable grandson, Anthony, his mom had taken that picture, I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. And so it was just so sweet. And I had to use Grandma's cookies. I love the photo, and I thought the papers went really well with it. So I enjoyed making this one. This is the same little boy, and he is going to be a big brother. So I created this page because adventure awaits for him. This is a series of photos my daughter took when she found out she was pregnant, and she saved the pregnancy test and she gave it to him, and he's looking at it like, I have no idea what this is, but I don't know if I like this. So we shall see how that goes. She's actually due to have the baby in a couple of weeks, and I'm hoping that he's as happy as he was in this photo. This is a double page layout that I did from an SCT Crop and Create Delivered class. It was from Vicki Booten, and it's using her products. I believe the line was called Sweet Rush, and I just added photos to it. I made a few changes, I guess, to the class layout, because I tend to do that. But I did add in a few extra products that had come from other parts of the kit. And I used my favorite edge punch here from EK Success. So this one is not my typical style. You'll see, as if you've followed me for any length of time, that I tend to do a little bit more conservative pages. So I wasn't sure how I was going to use this page when I created it, but I did have some photos from a trip we took in 2015, I guess, to Jamaica, and I thought they worked really well with this, so I ended up pleased with it. This is from the same trip, and this is a totally different style. This is using Hip Kit Club products, and the softer pastel colors are a little bit more my style. And I loved this fringe border paper that they had. They had some pre-cut borders that were all fringed like this, and I thought it's perfect for tropical pages. And the color palette was just so nice, and I think it really set off the photos. So this is another one. I was pleased with how it came out. I do believe I used an Allison Davis sketch for this one. As I'm looking at it now, I think it was a sketch. This one is a scrap lift of a page that was done by Natalie D'Souza for Pink Fresh Studios. She did it in one of her live broadcasts, and she used a die to cut out, actually I think she had a stamp and a die to cut out these little envelopes. I did not have that. I just measured the size that I wanted and then used my corner rounder to round the edges. And all of these ephemera pieces are actually Pink Fresh Studio washi tape. They make some great washi tape rolls that have matching dies, and there's like 15 feet on the roll, so you get a ton of embellishments, and I really love them. So this one was called their Chrysanthemum line, and also the embellishments, the other embellishments, the ephemera came from that line. This is Pink Fresh Studio, but it's ancient, and I have no idea what the line was called. It's probably 8-9 years old, if Pink Fresh has been around that long. It was from one of their very early collections. Oops. This is my other two grandsons. This was last fall, and this little guy is just adorable, of course. He and his brother have an incredible relationship. I used Cartabella products on this. I was really pleased to be able to use some journaling cards, which I don't usually use, and some matching ephemera. I fussy cut these pieces out, and this is a die. I can't remember. I think it was from Impression Obsession. Okay, sorry for the jump in the video. My husband came home and I didn't want him yelling, "Hello," in the middle of the video, so I had to take a break. This is the same photos that I had done earlier from Jamaica, and the page is based on a layout that Megan Andrew did in an SAT Create, Crop and Create Delivered class. I don't remember. I know it was last year, 2023, but I don't remember if it was spring or fall. But it was definitely, and it's using Vicki Boutin products again. This is the Where To Next line. This is one of the favorites that I did this past collection or this past grouping. This is a Mosaic Moments page. If you've never done Mosaic Moments pages, they're amazing. They use a gridded paper for the background, so it has little grid lines printed on it for 1-inch squares. And then you can cut your photos to fit in those spaces and line them up very geometrically. Originally, that was how they did the pages. They just cut the photos and made mosaics out of them, so you may have seen those in the past. But several years ago, they started making their own dies to fit the grid. And I have way too many of them. I have an issue with buying dies. I really use a lot of them. I buy a lot of them. And this one I believe is called it's either Double X Factor or, yeah, it's double something or other. And I love the way it came out. I used the wood paper. The fall photos, the colors went perfect with this paper. And I really enjoyed doing this one. I don't do a lot of them because they do take a little bit extra time planning out, but when I do them, I love them. This is another one based on Megan Andrews' class in Crop and Create Delivered, again using Vicki Boutin's Where To Next collection. I also went in and used her stencil. That was not part of the class, but I went in and added some ink blending with the stencil on there to try and pull the design from corner to corner. Again, this is Megan Andrew class. I think it goes this way. Same line, Where To Next. And I loved how she designed this. This circle was actually a single piece of paper with this kind of a color wheel style circle in the middle, and she had us cut it into various pieces and use those pieces in different spots on the page. So I really liked how she broke that up. It was something different. Still have to add photos to this. It will probably be from our last vacation that we just got back from recently. So I have to print some photos up. Now this was my last year's answer to December Daily. I didn't think I had enough events happening in December to do an entire album. It's just, we're empty nesters. I do have grandsons, but I don't get to see them as much as I would like. So we don't typically do Christmas activities with them. They do those with their parents, and then, you know, sometimes I get photos, sometimes I don't. So last year what I decided to do was make this grid layout and just use, I believe they're 2-inch squares, maybe a little bit less than that, to make the grid. I used a Pink Fresh line, one of their Christmas lines from several years ago. I also used Ellie Studio stamps and a pocket card. And I wanted to show you this because I have the grid laid out like a calendar, but I needed to get journaling on the page, and I didn't leave a lot of room. So what I ended up doing was making a pocket out of this part of the layout. And I made all the journaling. Down here I had a calendar. I downloaded this from online somewhere, somebody's December Daily printable. I have no idea who it was. I'm sorry, I would like to give credit, but I went in and added all my journaling and then printed it out, used a tag, a cut apart piece, to make the tab. And then when I put this in here, you have all the information, but it's not showing on the page and it's not taking up any real estate. So I was happy with how that came out. And you know what? December is done and I don't have to store another album. So I was happy about that. This one, you'll find a process video for on my YouTube channel. This was for the scrapping with sketch, no. Now I've lost my train of thought. It was an Allison Davis class, Creating with Sketches, that's what it is. We did a Creating with Sketches blog hop, and this was my January page. The idea of the hop is that we are all using the same sketch each month using one of her bundles, and everybody puts their own spin on it. So this was done for my January layout. I absolutely loved how it came out. My friends and I, we have such a good time together, and we decided that we wanted to do the, you know, the awkward JCPenney photos from years ago where they always had these crazy poses and stuff. We decided to do that as adults, and we went and we had so much fun. We laughed so much. So I came back and I used these photos. If you want to see the process video of how I made it, you can go back to January 2024 and see the layout that I put together then. And this is my most recent layout. This is also a process video on my YouTube channel for the Creating with Sketches hop. This is for February of 2024. And I used Echo Park's, I think it's called Winterland collection, because my daughter's baby shower is, the theme was Baby It's Cold Outside. So when I saw this cut apart card, I had to use it. And the collection was perfect because it's a nice soft pink color, which you don't usually see in winter lines. You know, usually if there's pink in winter, which I do see a lot of lines that have pink, it tends to be brighter, I think, more whimsical maybe. And this was just a nice understated color palette. So I was just thrilled when I saw it. So those are my layouts. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, please leave a comment and a thumbs up down below. I truly appreciate it. And let me know, do you prefer layout shares or process videos? I can tell you by looking at my statistics which one is more popular, but I'd really like to hear from you. So leave it down in the comments below, process video or layout share, so I know which type of content you're interested in. All right, thanks a lot. Have a great day.